All right, hello, English 2 students. We're going to look at assignment 2.05. This is in StudySync. It's the myth and legends of ancient Greece and Rome, Theseus. So you're going to read the intro. Let's pull it over here. The intro looks something like this. Quick paragraph. Ancient Greeks chronicled the mythical adventures of Theseus, whose birthright as heir to the throne of Athens was hidden from him until he discovered the proof, his father's sword, as a young man. This retelling from E.M. Barron's collection of myths and legends recounts Theseus's heroic deeds, battling giants, treacherous relatives, and the terrible monster, the Minotaur, before succeeding his father, Aegeus. I just learned how to say this, sorry. Aegeus, as king. Cool. It's a good story. And you're going to read the passage, do the 5 think questions, and then do the essay response. This is literary prompt number 1. It might only show you 1 prompt. It shows me 3. But you're going to do the first one, which asks 2 questions. You're going to write a paragraph answering the first question in 5 to 7 sentences, and then write a paragraph answering the second question in 5 to 7 sentences. So let's look at a couple things. All right, so if we go to the read, this is a story about Theseus, okay? It's a Greek story. You're going to have some Greek gods in here. Hopefully you're a little bit familiar with this stuff. Basically, Theseus finds out that he is heir to be the king of Athens, and he finds this out, goes to see the king. The king's super excited that he's there, and Theseus kind of feeling a little bit anxious that the people in Athens might not accept him because he wasn't always kind of like the crown prince or the rightful heir here. He decided to go and prove himself. So fearing, however, lest the Athenians might entertain a prejudice against him, he does a couple things. So accordingly decided to rid the country of a famous bull of Marathon. So he captures this bull, brings it, and sacrifices it to the god Apollo. The next enterprise takes up the rest of this kind of brief story, and that's when he goes to slay the Minotaur. So you guys have probably seen pictures of these things before. It's a half bull, half man, usually with like a very aggressive-looking bullhead. Okay, so why kill this? Well, it put an end forever to the shameful tribute of 7 youths and 7 maidens, which was exacted from the Athenians every 9 years. So right now, this Minotaur is there. You're about to find out the history of the Minotaur in the next little paragraph here. But every 9 years, Athens had to send 7 young boys and 7 young girls to this Minotaur for him to play with or eat or something. And so Theseus is like, hey, I'm going to be a good prince and go kill the monster. Right? So he's sailing that way. And first, it's customary for the vessel bearing its unhappy freight of human victims to use on this voyage black sails. So he's pretending like he's bringing these 7 and 7 to go to the Minotaur. Before leaving Athens, though, he chooses Aphrodite to be his protector for the mission. Aphrodite, of course, the goddess of love, also known as Venus if you're Roman. So when he gets there, it's a different city-state, so a different king. So there's a king in Minos. The goddess of love inspired Ariadne. Okay, so Aphrodite, who is Theseus' guardian on this mission, inspires the beautiful princess Ariadne to help out Theseus. So she gives him some thread. I think she gives him a sword too. Yeah, furnish him with a sharp sword and a clue of thread. So just think of this as a spool of thread. That way when Theseus is going through the labyrinth, he can leave a trail of the thread behind. A labyrinth is like a very confusing and intense maze. And so obviously you don't want to get lost. You don't want to get eaten by the monster, the Minotaur. And once you do go in and kill him, spoilers, he goes and kills the Minotaur, he can then grab the thread to work his way out of the labyrinth. That way he isn't stuck in there. So of course he goes and kills him, follows the thread out. As they're leaving, he has a dream from a god Dionysus, which is that god that you usually see kind of lounging on a chair, eating grapes, drinking wine. He's the god of basically partying, okay? In that dream, Dionysus tells Theseus, he's like, hey, remember that princess Ariadne? I'm sure you like her, but I want her to be my, Dionysus's, wife. So you're going to bring her to this island and leave her there alone, and I'll come pick her up, okay? So Theseus is kind of sad about this because he likes her. Naturally, it's a princess, and he's a prince. But they leave her alone on this island. That's sad, right? And as Theseus is coming back to Athens in his boat with black sails, his father kind of gets a mixed message because of the black sails, thinking, oh, maybe his son had died on the mission, and so his dad jumps out of a tower to fall to his death. You know, it's a Greek story. There's always going to be some sad death. Theseus then takes the throne as king of Athens, and it turns out he's a pretty good king. So that's this assignment. You're going to do the reading. You're going to go to think. You're going to answer these questions. You're going to screenshot each one. Why does the author suggest when he writes that Theseus punished Procrustes by serving him of as he had done his unfortunate victims? Well, go back and look, and you will surely be able to figure this out one by one. Number 2, Medea, the sorceress, holds her husband Agus under her power. What changes that? Go look, read it up. So once you have these questions, you just go straight to the text. In this reading, the author presents several distinct stories or episodes from Theseus' life. Which one is told at greatest length and in greatest detail? What is one effect of this choice by the author? You should know this question. Please know this answer. Thank you so much. 4. According to the first paragraph, Procrustes would cut or stretch victims on one or two of his iron beds, leaving them to expire in terrible pain. Based on context clues, what does it mean to expire? You guys got that one. You got it. King Aegus' brother Pallas expected that when the king died, the power of government would devolve to Pallas and his family. Use context clues to define devolve. You can do this. You could do it. Write your definition there. So don't forget to screenshot each of those. Then you're going to go over to the right. You're going to do a better job than I did and go to right. And you're answering this first one. What character traits make Theseus an ideal hero? He's a Greek hero. Killed things. What character flaws show that he is human? Good question. So write a paragraph on either or each of those questions, rather, citing some evidence when you can, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got yourself. How many points? How many points? Some awesome amount of points. 25 points. You could do this one. This is good. Remember, for the culminating event, to be looking for quotes about love. So if we go back to the read, let's do a quick search for love. There's 3 of them. 3 love usages. When he arrived in the presence of King Minos, the goddess of love inspired Ariadne, the beautiful daughter of the king, with an ardent attachment for the noble young hero. Okay, so sometimes gods intervene. You could take that. Maybe you could use that one. Maybe not. He led his companions safely out of the labyrinth. Then they fled to their ship, taking with them the lovely maiden, to whose affection for their delivery they owed their safety. Yes, Ariadne. Boom. Last one. He accordingly took a sad farewell to the beautiful maiden who so tenderly loved him, and left her on the lonely island where she was found and wooed by the wine god. Sometimes gods take your girlfriends. It's sad. Anyway, this video is too long already, so good luck on this. You got this. Bye!